Oh dearie, dearie, dear. We've got some rather annoying news, shall we say? As of course, there was a remastered edition of both Prototype and Prototype 2, which kind of just randomly appeared on Xbox One and PS4 with pretty much no fanfare, and that's never a good sign. And well, it seems like we know why. The games run slower on Xbox One than they did on the Xbox 360. Which is an achievement of some kind, I'm sure. So, they have a higher resolution, that being 1080p of course, but the frame rate seems to have taken an absolute beating as it slows considerably during combat sequences, and there's also some pretty awful looking stutter in the cutscenes of Prototype 2, and in-game travel is about 20 to 25 FPS with a hell of a lot of screen tearing. And unfortunately, that's not the lowest frame rate it will reach, so it seems like the quote-unquote remaster is just an absolute mess. I mean, we've seen some lackluster remasters, God of War, but this takes the cake. At least God of War functioned. Good lord. And there were some improvements that weren't graphics, like controls, frame rate. It was much more responsive. You know, some of those fights in God of War 3 on PS3 are just infuriating, especially Poseidon. But on PS4 they were much better because of the improvements to the controls, frame rate, etc. So while graphically there wasn't much, gameplay-wise there were some tweaks. And with Prototype it just looks like, I don't know what they did, but they should just not do that ever again. Now, the source for this is Eurogamer, and they said, quote, "Worse still is the fact PS3 completely overshadows Xbox One in playability. Throughout our tests, Sony's last-gen machine runs with no tearing at all, and yet still manages to consistently beat best both Xbox machines in frame rate, both old and new." Now, the analysis, of course, goes into a huge amount of detail. I don't believe we'll be covering this one ourselves, as of course it's kind of already, the ship's already sailed now. And we've got quite a bit on our plate coming up, so yeah, I will link the source in the description below this video, and you can have a read and kind of hold your head in your hands as you just look upon how much of a disaster area this is. I mean, the fact that there's no marketing at all just told you everything you need to know. And just to put the icing on the shit show that is this cake, we've got the bundle selling for $49.99 on PS4 and Xbox One, and if you want to buy them individually for some reason, that will be beginning on August the 11th. But from the sound of things, you want to avoid this like the plague. As I said though, check out the description below this video if you want to read more, and I'll see you next time. Ugh, good lord.